In the endless sprawl of the Imperium of Man, where faith and fire are the bonds that hold 1 billion worlds in line, the definition of human is not as clean as one might think. For all its hatred of the mutant, the witch, and the Xenos, the Imperium has by necessity, not compassion, learned to make use of strange and divergent strains of humanity. They are not honored as equals, nor granted the luxuries of nobility, but they are permitted to live and to serve so long as their loyalty is unquestioned. These beings are the Abhuman breeds, tolerated mutations of mankind. Some are born from adaptation to hostile environments, others the twisted byproducts of genetic drift or ancient meddling. In the eyes of the Imperium, they are peculiar, often reviled, but necessary. Soldiers, workers, hunters, scouts, and sometimes shields against horrors no pure human would dare face. They are humanity's shadowed cousins, lesser in dignity perhaps, but no less bound to the survival of the species. Let us walk through this menagerie of mankind's tolerated deviance and see how the Imperium has bent its iron laws in order to endure. Ratlings, the half-sized marksmen. Of all the Abhuman strains, Ratlings are perhaps the most infamous. Diminutive, childlike in stature, yet wily and cunning, they are the halflings of the Imperium. Born from ancient adaptation to worlds of low gravity and sheltered environments, they are short, rotund, and agile. The Imperium values them not for their honesty indeed. Ratlings are notorious thieves, gamblers, and gluttons, but for their uncanny skill with a rifle. Ratlings serve as specialist sharpshooters in the Astra Militarum, forming sniper detachments that can kill an enemy commander at 1,000 meters, all while unseen in the grass. Their keen eyesight, steady hands, and ability to blend into terrain make them irreplaceable in war. Though commissars despise their indiscipline and priests scowl at their appetites, few officers will deny that a Ratling sniper team has saved entire regiments from annihilation. They are tolerated because their utility outweighs their sins, though they are rarely trusted with positions of authority. Ratlings are the Imperium's reluctant child soldiers, mocked and mistrusted, yet indispensable in the wars of mankind. Ogryns, the hulking guardians. Where Ratlings are small and subtle, the Ogryn are their opposite giants born of high-gravity death worlds. Their bodies are massive, their skulls thick, their intellect stunted to childlike simplicity. The Imperium views them as little more than beasts of burden, slow to think, quick to obey. But in war, Ogryns are titans. They serve as shock troops of the Astra Militarum, armed with enormous ripper guns, or simply their own fists. In battle, they are blunt instruments of devastation, smashing through fortifications, tearing apart heretics, and standing unflinching against horrors that would send ordinary soldiers fleeing. They are too simple-minded to question orders, and too loyal to abandon their comrades. The Imperium calls them faithful brutes, and they are often shepherded by boneheads, Ogryns fitted with crude cerebral implants to grant them a flicker more intelligence, enough to follow complex orders. To the guard, Ogryns are walls of living flesh, their loyalty as unshakable as their bulk. To the priests of the ecclesiarchy, they are proof that even the lowest of humanity has a place in the Emperor's plan. The squats, or leagues of Votann, are one of the most enduring Abhuman strains in the galaxy. Descended from humans who colonized high-gravity mining worlds during the dark age of technology, they became short, stout, and immensely strong, perfectly adapted to their harsh environments. Their genetic stability made them more resistant to mutation than other Abhumans, earning them a reputation as hardy survivors, the space dwarfs of the 41st millennium. Culturally, squats were proud, stubborn, and fiercely independent. Renowned miners, engineers, and craftsmen, they produced weapons and machines to rival even the Adeptus Mechanicus. They often fought alongside the Imperium as Imperial Guard auxiliaries, mercenaries, and allies, though their loyalty was given on their own terms. While never fully integrated into the Imperium's rigid hierarchy, their endurance and skill were too valuable to be ignored. In lore, their fate has been complex. For years, it was said that Tyrannid hive fleets consumed their homeworlds, wiping them from history. Yet modern canon reintroduces them as the Leagues of Votann, a full civilization in their own right, rather than a sanctioned Abhuman strain. Once remembered as Imperial allies, they now stand as a people apart, stubborn, ingenious, and unyielding, still the miners and warriors of the stars. Beastmen, the horned heretics tamed. Few Abhumans provoke as much debate as the Beastmen. Twisted by mutation, bearing horns, hooves, or furred hides, they stand on the very edge of heresy. Many worlds burn them as witches and chaos spawn. Yet history tells of Beastmen regiments once raised within the Astra Militarum. The Imperium's official position is one of caution. Beastmen are distrusted, their appearance too close to the archetypes of chaos corruption. Yet, in some desperate campaigns, they have been used shock troops to hurl against the enemy, their ferocity matched only by their contempt from their human comrades. Though officially outlawed in many sectors, rumors persist of Beastmen auxiliaries serving the Guard in backwater wars, tolerated so long as their loyalty remains firm. They are a reminder that the line between sanctioned Abhuman and cursed mutant is perilously thin. Felinids, the shadowed hunters. In the shadows of hive worlds and the jungles of feral planets stalk the Felinids sleek, cat-eyed humans whose predatory instincts mark them as something other. Born of worlds where survival demanded speed, agility, and night vision, Felinids are fast, cunning, and dangerous. Their exact nature varies. Some say their eyes shine like a predator's. Others whisper of sharpened teeth and claws. What is certain is their value as scouts and infiltrators. Felinid auxiliaries are sometimes pressed into service as reconnaissance troops, operating ahead of the Guard to track enemies or slip behind enemy lines. They are rarely spoken of in high imperial courts, considered disquieting by the ecclesiarchy, yet their service is tolerated where needed. In a galaxy where orcs swarm, tyrannids devour, and chaos corrupts, the Felinids' talents are a small but precious edge. Navigators, Homo Navigo. The Navigators, or Homo Navigo, are among the strangest of humanity's sanctioned mutations. They are not Abhumans in the strict genetic sense, but rather the product of carefully bred lineages known as the Navigator houses. Their most defining feature is the warp eye, a third, lidless eye set into the forehead. With this eye, they pierce the veil of the immaterium, perceiving the roiling tides of unreality and guiding ships through the warp's nightmare currents. To look into this eye is to invite madness, for it sees into realms no mortal mind was meant to comprehend. Without navigators, the Imperium would crumble. No machine, no algorithm, and no servitor can replicate their psychic gift. Only they can steer vast void ships safely through the warp, turning the impossible into the routine. From ancient days, their houses have held immense power, their services bound by pacts older than most imperial institutions. Entire dynasties and campaigns have depended upon the navigators, and even the High Lords of Terra treat their houses with wary respect. Yet, for all their necessity, they are feared. Ordinary humans shun them, whispering of corruption and heresy, unsettled by their otherworldly presence. Even sanctioned, navigators walk a lonely path, nobles of strange blood, indispensable, yet forever apart. They are humanity's bridge to the stars, and its reminder that survival often comes at the cost of purity. Sanctioned Psykers. Psykers are mankind's most dangerous mutation, and its most necessary. Born across every world of the Imperium, These individuals bear the spark of the warp in their veins. Some hear whispers in the dark. Others wield lightning or flame with a thought. But such gifts are also gateways, and with them comes the constant risk of demonic possession, madness, and catastrophic ruin. The Imperium knows this truth well, and it spares no effort in gathering Psykers from every corner of its domain. They are taken by the dreaded black ships of the Inquisition, where they are tested, broken, and judged. The vast majority are executed or consumed as fuel for the Golden Throne, their lives sustaining the Emperor's eternal vigil. Yet, a chosen few are spared. These survivors are forged into Sanctioned Psykers, their powers bound by pain, indoctrination, and terror. They are hurled into war zones as battleseers, advisors, and living weapons, or shackled into service as astropaths, their souls sacrificed in part so that humanity may communicate across the stars. Though officially sanctioned, they are never trusted. To the common man, a Psyker is a cursed creature, a potential daemon host hiding behind mortal eyes. Regiments pray to the Emperor even as they march beside them, for one slip could doom them all. But without Psykers, the Imperium would collapse. Its armies blind, its fleets lost, its throne unfed. Thus they endure, a people both damned and indispensable. Afriel Strain. The Afriel Strain was an experiment born of hubris, a doomed attempt to manufacture perfection from the blood of gods. Created by gene crafters who spliced and shaped remnants of Primarch DNA, the Afriels emerged pale-skinned, white-haired, and unnervingly reminiscent of the Emperor's angelic sons. They were stronger, faster, and sharper than any mortal soldier, their minds and bodies echoing greatness, thought forever lost. The Afriel Strain once seemed to triumph soldiers born of Primarch blood, disciplined and unyielding, cutting through foes with uncanny skill. Yet disaster followed. Allies faltered, campaigns collapsed, and whispers of a curse spread. Even the Emperor's image, tampered with, could bring ruin. Quietly, the project was abandoned, its legacy buried as a cautionary tale of hubris and shadow, a reminder that perfection itself can be dangerous. Beyond Sanctioned Strains lie stranger kin, troughs of brute strength, long shanks stretched by low gravity, and others adapted to poisons, radiation, or endless night. Accepted only where necessity demands, they remain footnotes in Imperial records. The Imperium burns mutants as heretics, yet fields Abhumans by the million, a paradox of survival and pragmatism. Despised by citizens, yet indispensable in war, Ratlings strike from afar, Ogryns hold the breach, Felinids stalk unseen, and Beastmen charge into horrors no man dares face. Navigators guide ships with their warp eye, while Sanctioned Psykers bleed their minds to shield humanity from the Immaterium's nightmares. The Imperium may scorn them, but without these peculiar cousins, mankind might already be ashes. In the 41st millennium, purity does not save humanity, survival does, in whatever form it takes.